The Stephen A. Smith Show starts right now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio and ESPN News, 250 plus markets across the United States of America, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call up as always is 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. This Mother's Day, show Mom just how much you appreciate her love and support with 1-800-Flowers.com. Right now, you can get 36 sorbet roses for just $36. To order, go to 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, and enter code Stephen A. That's with a PH, not a V. Time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, no conscience. Lots of stuff to get into. Everybody's well in the South. I love Nashville, Tennessee. Beautiful, beautiful city. Not to mention the fact that it's a state with no state income taxes. So I love Nashville, Tennessee. Doesn't bother me at all. Saturday night's NFL draft. Lots of stuff to get into. The New York Giants, are they going to take Dwayne Haskins? The New York Jets, is it going to be Josh Allen or somebody else? Lots of stuff. Who's the team with the most pressure to produce this particular NFL draft? Is it the Oakland Raiders? Is it the Arizona Cardinals? Is it the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Who the hell is it? All of those things are things that we need to get into because we'll have to have a discussion. Sal Palantonio, the great Sal Palantonio, is coming on the show halfway through this hour. The wonderful Josina Anderson, NFL reporter extraordinaire. She'll be live on with us from Arizona. Looking forward to talking to her as well, along with a few others. So stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. The NFL draft is tonight in Nashville, Tennessee, and we'll get into all of that in just a second. Let me start off by saying this about the reigning, defending, two-time champion Golden State Warriors of the National Basketball Association, who flat out wet the bed last night, up 3-1, pushing the Los Angeles Clippers to the brink of elimination. What they did was simply turn around and defend like trash. Patrick Beverley dropped 5 3-pointers. Lou Williams came off the bench, dropped 33. Montrezl Harrell looking like the second coming of Dennis Rodman. Or on the court, off the court in the post-game conference, he looked like a taller version of Lil Wayne. Nevertheless, the Los Angeles Clippers went into the Oracle in Oakland, California, and beat the two-time reigning defending champion Golden State Warriors. And for the first time, I believe there's legitimate reason for concern. And the reason why I believe there's legitimate reason for concern, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very simple. When you can't defend, if you can't defend Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, or Patrick Beverley, what the hell are you going to do against James Harden, CP3, Eric Gordon, and the crew? What the hell are you going to do against them if you can't defend? You can't be disciplined and focused and dogged enough to close the deal. Now, Klay Thompson talked about going back to Los Angeles, and he said, hey, listen, we just need to go back there and handle our business. That's what he said. Handle our business, blow them out, do what we got to do. But in the end, what this comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, more so than anything else, is the Golden State Warriors appreciating the position that they're in. The New Houston Rockets did them a favor by losing Game 4, avoiding sweeping the Utah Jazz, and having a Game 5 be played last night, because the belief was they were going to get get some additional rest And because they blew that opportunity, the series was supposed to end the same night Golden State was supposed to end the series, and they were supposed to start playing one another this weekend. Instead, Houston closes things out. They finished their series with Utah. Donovan Mitchell, my man, struggled miserably last night. And the Golden State Warriors were supposed to handle their business, and they did not do that. I will tell you this. As far as I'm concerned, when you've got Kevin Durant, who dropped 45 last night, when you've got shooters like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, you're going to be all right offensively. I don't give a damn what the situation is. Defensively, however, if you're going to periodically struggle the way the Golden State Warriors struggled last night, ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Rockets might be going to the finals. I'm still not ready to bet my money on that. I don't believe it. I'm certainly not ready to make that a foregone conclusion. But I will tell you, the Golden State Warriors' defensive performance last night has given me cause to pause, and as a result, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to the finals. Houston's probably salivating at the mouth to get their hands on them, and all of a sudden, everybody's in play. Because you look at the way Denver's played against San Antonio the last 3 games. When you look at the way Portland looked in the series against Oklahoma City, you got either of those teams that could give Houston a run for its money. So now if the Golden State Warriors are in jeopardy and somehow, some way, Houston's able to knock them off, we might not know who the hell's going to the NBA Finals coming out of the West, which means we might not know who the champion's going to be, which means before we know, for all we know, Toronto or Milwaukee could end up being the NBA champions if we're not careful. Now, I want to be very, very clear about who I'm rooting for or who I'm rooting against. I am rooting against the Toronto Raptors. Beautiful city. Fantastic city. Phenomenal. Here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. My self-interest matters. I don't have global entry. I've been trying to get global entry for months, and I can't get global entry. For some odd reason, their computers ain't up and people ain't being eligible for global entry. I have been trying to get global entry for 4 months. 4.5 months to be exact and counting, and I still don't have global entry, which means that those lines are going to be exorbitantly long, and I want no parts of that while I'm traveling for the NBA Finals. That's right, I'm putting my personal interest first. I don't feel like standing in line for customs, all of that stuff. I don't feel like dealing with that. I ain't got to do that if I fly to Milwaukee. I ain't got to do that if I go to Philadelphia. I don't have to do that if I go to Boston. But I will have to do that if I go to Toronto. So nobody's rooting against Toronto more than me. But that is the reason why I don't have global entry. Anybody with any government hookups, hook a brother up. I need help. I don't have global entry. Now let me get to what the real story is. And that's the NFL draft. And that's why we've got Sal Palantonio coming on 30 minutes past this hour. That's why we'll have Mr. CIA himself, former executive with the Jets and the Miami Dolphins, the one and only Mike Tannenbaum, who, by the way, is an incredibly nice man. He's really a nice guy. I'm looking forward. I just tease him a little bit. But I have fun with Mike Tannenbaum. I'm looking forward to talking to him. Oh, by the way, Josina Anderson, NFL reporter extraordinaire. Usually when there are breaking stories occurring and it doesn't come the way of the great Adam Schefter, it comes through her. She's very plugged in, looking forward to talking to her. She's coming at us live from Arizona because she's covering the Cardinals, who have the #1 overall pick for tonight's NFL draft. Now, some of you might be interested in the Cardinals, and I guess I can understand why. I don't find it that interesting. They're going to take Kyler Murray. You don't hire Kingsbury to be your coach, who I will remind everybody is not qualified to be the coach. Damn it, I ain't apologizing for that. It's just the truth. Mr. Kingsbury had a less than 500 record as a college coach, got fired from the job there, got hired as offensive coordinator at USC, and before he had a chance to go to Roscoe's for chicken and waffles, the dude got hired as an NFL head coach. He did not deserve the job. I'm about process. This ain't about race. I don't give a damn what color or ethnicity the coach is. Black, white, or everything in between. That don't matter to me. But damn it, have the credentials to be a head coach. What did this man do to be the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals? The answer would be nothing. There's plenty of coordinators. There's plenty of pro personnel directors. There are plenty of scouts. There's plenty of coaches, period, on the NFL and even on the collegiate level that were more deserving of a head coaching job on the NFL level than Kingsbury. I mean, since Kingsbury got the job, Cliff Kingsbury, how come Kevin Sumlin didn't get the job? The hell with it. Why don't you bring Herm Edwards back? What about David Shaw at Stanford? I mean, the list goes on and on. You want to go that route, why didn't you woo back Jim Harbaugh? Something. Why did you sit up there and say to Urban Meyer, look, you ain't got to worry about no college football scandals on a pro level. We pay here. Leave Ohio State, come take a head coaching job. I didn't have no problem with that. Urban Meyer's one of the greatest coaches in collegiate football history. By the way, the weather's a little bit nice in Arizona. We'll drive for you. You just got to coach football. You ain't got to worry about recruiting. You ain't got to worry about going in parents' homes, promising them you'll take care of their kid, being a father to 65-plus kids. You ain't got to worry about all of that. Just coach the damn football team. You could have done that. But they hired Cliff Kingsbury. And, oh, by the way, you would think he recruited Baker Mayfield and got him to come to Texas Tech. You would think he recruited Kyler Murray and got him to come to Texas Tech. No, he had relationships. He talked to these people. They didn't come play for him. So what's the problem? I really don't understand this. I really, really don't. But he believes in Kyler Murray, and I like that. I really do. I have yet to find one football aficionado that could definitively tell me where would Kyler Murray fall in the draft if Cliff Kingsbury were not the coach in Arizona and they were not going to take him number one. Where would he fall? Nobody has an answer for me. So that leaves me a bit suspect about Kyler Murray in terms of how they feel about him. How I feel about him, he's a dual threat. Dude averaged more than 7 yards a rush. The dude threw for over 4,000 yards. The dude won the Heisman after got in Oklahoma to the college football playoffs a year after Baker Mayfield did it. So I believe in Kyler Murray. And I believe Arizona should take him number one. I think it's all smoke and mirrors. I don't think they're going to allow anybody to trade up, and I don't think they're going to trade down. They're going to draft Kyler Murray. That's what I believe is going to happen. I really could care less. It's not that interesting to me. Here's where it gets very interesting to me. The New York Giants. Now listen. Let's just be very, very clear about what we're saying here. If you are the New York Giants, what possible excuse can you have not to draft Dwayne Haskins out of Ohio State? Threw for nearly 5,000 yards, 4,800 plus. Threw for 50 touchdowns. We see all the superlatives associated with this kid and what he brings to the table, and yet somehow, some way, people continue to find ways to create question marks about this guy. I don't understand it. I really don't. I'm at a loss. If you're the New York Giants, what are you doing? To me, you got to do something. I don't know how you could pass up on Dwayne Haskins. When you watch Eli Manning, 37 years old, look like he's going on 50. Eli Manning, did y'all know this? Eli Manning doesn't even wait to get touched to go down anymore. Eli Manning goes down at the sight of a rush. At the sight of a rush. He hears footsteps, he goes down. He sees an arm flailing in his direction, he goes down. He sees a bull rush coming at him, not confident that his offensive linemen are going to be able to block effectively for him. He goes down. This is what Eli Manning has done. So I don't understand for the life of me how the New York Giants, with 12 picks, 2 picks in the first round, 1 second-round pick. I don't understand how you're passing up on a quarterback, especially Dwayne Haskins. Now, if you listen to folks out there, you talk about Drew Lock out of Missouri, you talk about Daniel Jones out of Duke, you're talking about these guys potentially being more attractive than the New York Giants. That doesn't make sense to me. When I look at this kid, Dwayne Haskins, that simply does not make sense to me. You're the New York Giants. You've missed the playoffs 6 times in the last 7 years since you've won Super Bowl 46. You've already traded Odell Beckham Jr. All right? That's what you've done. You've traded Olivia Vernon. Eli's 38 years old. He's entering the final season of his current contract. He was sacked 47 times last season, pressured on 28% of his pass plays. And I guess if you're Dave Gettleman, the general manager for the New York Giants, you're using that as an excuse to say, see, it really wasn't his fault. If we protected him better, if we made sure he didn't get sacked as much, then guess what? He would have looked better. Here's the problem. Some of the sacks, you know how Eli Manning got sacked? They said, that's how he got sacked. They were in the vicinity, they screamed at him, and his behind went down. Because when you're 38 years old and you've been in the league since your early 20s and you've been hit repeatedly over the years, ladies and gentlemen, it hurts, damn it. You get scared. This is what happens. And it's not Eli Manning's fault. The man delivered 2 Super Bowls. Nobody's knocking him for the career that he's had. But what we're saying is there comes a point in time where you have to realize it's over. And you got to move in a different direction. The New York Giants desperately, desperately, desperately need a quarterback. And Dwayne Haskins probably is the best of the lot. I understand that Gettleman is old school. I understand. You look at some of these cats like Devin White out of LSU, Josh Allen out of Kentucky, and others. You desperately need an edge rusher. If Josh Allen is there available at number 6, you know that the Giants are thinking big time about grabbing him. Why? Because you desperately need an edge rusher. I understand that. I get it. I kept asking that question, asking that question, asking that question. And it's not a matter of football acumen or absence thereof. Understand where I'm coming from, ladies and gentlemen. When I watched the divisional playoff game between the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Chargers, listen to what I'm saying. You don't play the game, then you watch the game. If you watch the game, listen to this scenario and tell me how y'all would feel. You had Joey Bosa, who is considered somewhat elite at his position, being an edge rusher for the Chargers. He was mic'd up for the game. And if you watch the NFL Network and you watch them talk about the game and they were mic'd, you listen to Joey Bosa going up to Tom Brady. Man, will you stop getting rid of the ball so quickly? Give me a chance to get to you. Would you please, please, please? Because Bill Belichick and them had Tom Brady getting rid of the football in 2.5 seconds, max. So my point is, no matter what we thought about Joey Bosa, he was a complete non-factor because New England was getting rid of the football, and there was nothing he could do. And then to top it off and to make it even worse, he was still mic'd, and they had him on the sideline, people. And Joey Bosa was like, that Tom Brady's awesome. He's phenomenal. I mean, oh, my God, he's greatest. Go back and listen to the tapes. You're marveling at this guy because basically what you're saying is you are helpless to do anything against him, just like you would be helpless to do anything against an elite quarterback. Well, guess what? If you have an opportunity to draft an elite quarterback, ain't that all the evidence you need? Now, if you don't believe that they're elite and you don't believe they're going to be effective and you don't believe they can play, that's different. But if it's clear somebody can ball and they're at the quarterback position, how in the hell do you pass up on them, New York Giants? It makes no sense, particularly when your alternative is hoping and praying that a quarterback is going to be available 11 picks later, and also depending on a 38-year-old quarterback who showed you he was punch drunk at least 2 to 3 years ago. It makes absolutely, positively no sense whatsoever. And I got a real problem with the New York Giants even contemplating passing up a quarterback, the likes of Dwayne Haskins, for this upcoming draft. It's not an exact science, and I know people are popular to say that, but damn that. All of us get paid to do a job. Yes, we make mistakes. None of us are flawless. I totally understand that. I would know. But the reality is clear. When you have a job to do, you better come pretty damn close to doing it effectively if you want to keep it. And if you're the New York Giants and you've missed the playoffs 6 times in the last 7 years, how the hell are you effective? So at some point in time, we got to have this discussion. And we got to recognize the fact that you're the New York Giants, you got to grab a quarterback. If you're the New York Jets, you got a totally different need. You got Sam Darnold. And oh, by the way, getting back to the New York Giants for a second, you know what nobody else has brought up? If the New York Giants pass up a quarterback this draft, how many teams who've been missing the playoffs, who have an aging quarterback clearly beyond his prime, goes back-to-back NFL drafts with top 6 picks and pass on quarterbacks each time? Last year, you got Baker Mayfield there. You got Sam Darnold there. You got Josh Rosen there. This is all you got. This is what you have. And the New York Giants passed up on 3 to 4 quarterbacks